We had a lot of fun. The most fun I've had in wrestling for a sizable company.
They let us do whatever the hell we wanted to do.
Everything else was so serious. We were the group that brought some levity to the show.
The audience were just yelling at me, checkers, checkers. And I'm like, why don't you guys play chess or checkers on body? We were able to throw ideas and they just say yes.
When they said Rabbit Tribe, I was thinking, how do I make rabbits badass in a land of snakes and demons and lizards? And so it was so cool to have him come in because it made it serious and dark. The reason we miss it so much is because there was so much more untapped, undone.
Could we do it if somebody with deep pockets went, hey man, let's bring back Lucha Underground? Yeah, let's do it.
Get the fuck out of here! But look at this, here we go, Johnny Mundo! Oh, nobody's safe. Watch Mundo! Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen, GOIN Underground episode 4 is a special one. We are here with two members of the Rabbit Tribe. We've got Paul London here in person. We got Loco on Zoom. Marty, you're there.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah. We got a Mariachi Loco, aka Saltadore, from the Rabbit Tribe, and
you know, psychedelic assassin.
Yeah, Mr. Paul London, who had some very magical moments as the lead rabbit, so to speak.
We had a lot of fun. I mean, that was probably the most fun I've had in wrestling for a sizable company. Definitely the most fun I had schedule-wise and presentation-wise. You know, people still bring up rabbit. A girl brought me today a stuffed little rabbit.
Is that, which one was it? Was that the one towards
The
the
one
end?
that was wearing my old turkey shirt?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
so cool.
brought me a stuffed rabbit. So, like, it resonated with a lot of people. You know, I think a lot of it, too, is because everything else was so serious that we were the group that brought some levity to the show and fun. And I think that stuck with a lot of people.
Paul's always been that guy that just, we let him talk and everything he says is just my words exactly.
Oh, come on.
No, I mean, when we went in there, when I first heard that, I'm like, man, you're gonna get teamed up with Paul and Cholo. I mean, I've already worked with Cholo so many times, and with Paul as well. It's like, man, that was amazing. I honestly didn't even know exactly what I was gonna get myself into, but I felt comfortable enough with the three of us getting our minds together. And what I remember is that they let us do whatever the hell we wanted to do. It was like any ideas we threw at them was like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
I remember a specific time. Remember when the crowd was they kept yelling checkers at me because I mean I was wearing a squared checkered suit. Like,
that's the most covered we've ever been, right?
Yeah,
that's the most covered up you've ever been.
It sucks so bad, man. After I took that thing, I was just sweaty as hell. It was the worst. Man, the first one was an actual morph suit, and I think as soon as I stepped in the ring, it just ripped. but no, and I remember like
you're actually Mala Suerte and Saltador replaced. They were the new iteration of the Rabbit Tribe because originally they tried to team me up with Argenis and I don't remember who the other guy was, and we did one match and it was like dark and we didn't have matching outfits, or we kind of did, and they thought we looked like scuba divers. And then Argenis and the other dude took to something else, and I think I had made the suggestion about Cholo, and And I figured, why not? Because weren't you doing something before as well? Were you one of the zombies or something at one point?
Yeah, I was one of the I was Sinestro de la Muerte. I was part of the Disciples of Death
Okay.
with Mil Muertes.
Season 1, right?
Yeah.
Right off
I
the
was season 2, I believe, like half of season 2.
Okay.
I was a purple guy.
Purple,
The purple guy.
Mr. Purple.
Usually when Marty and I do this, we like to start a little at the beginning, figure out how you found your way to Lucha Underground. Loco, I'll start with you. How did you find your way into Lucha Underground originally?
Well, I think what I remember, and I want to say if I remember, I got called up. I think maybe a day before,
Day before
like a week before the tapings happened. I
What?
believe I'm not 100% sure, but they said, "Hey, we need guys to kind of test the ring, test the sound, basically just kind of do like a last minute camera checks."
Oh,
So
wow.
they needed a couple guys, and I think it was me and Fernal and a couple guys that went in there and then just kind of ran the ropes a while. We did like a little mini match, but I think we had like 3 spots and spot maybe like 10 times because they were working every single angle, every single camera, and they just wanted to test to see exactly how it looked on television. So I mean, as I was in there, we were just hanging out, just waiting for a call. We were doing the moves, and I was in the ring. I was just being me, man. I was like, I'm just moving around, being a dumbass sometimes, and then just and I guess I had no idea, but
Keep talking this great that I'm listening.
Yeah.
DJ was sitting somewhere out and about, and I had no idea he was there, and I think I just got his eye, and no joke, maybe a week later, I get a call back from man, I think it was Eric. I don't remember, but I get a call saying, "Hey, we're interested in having you on board." I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Sure." I was like, "Where do I sign?" But right before, I think it was like maybe the week before, they sent me a contract. They sent me the contract with all the stuff in there. It was like an 8-year I forget. And I was in Vegas when they sent it to me. So I was like, oh shoot. So just make sure you bring it on a Friday or Saturday tapings. I keep forgetting. Just have it signed. As soon as you sign it, you go in the ring. Yeah, no, and at that time I was working obviously as mariachi loco, and I'm just
Likewise.
a dancing luchador that loves to dance and loves music. Um and yeah, the first day I got there, like the day I signed the contract, I was basically in the ring. First show up, and I think the, I think it was the first time Benta and the rest of the guys got in there as well. So I think it was in the same episode. But funny to say though, like I wasn't supposed to wrestle Mascarita Sagrada that night.
I love
It was
that match,
supposed to
by the
be
way.
it was supposed to be me versus Mil Muertes. But somehow something happened with the other guy that was supposed to wrestle Mascarita. I think it was just the style where we're mashing. So they asked me to do a couple things with Mascarita, and then it just worked well. And I became a heel. I heel mariachi, and it worked well. I mean, I had fun. I had tons of fun. You know, I've worked with Meanies before. I've worked. I have never worked him before, but I've worked with Meanies before, and them. That match was pretty cool. Way different than all the indie stuff that I used to do. And that was my introduction to this kind of this type of wrestling.
That's
But it was
Mariachi Loco?
yeah,
What?
yeah. And it was pretty crazy. It was out of this role, and again, that was my first time working any type of camera, any type of
So you'd never done any
studio
TV
wrestling.
before? You'd never done any type of TV?
Never.
Wow.
Not even Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
Just a little soft core.
here and there.
But you know what? I will say, man, that you did a great job, man, because you came out with Dario Cueto, who introduced you as the dancing mariachi cook, right? When he cut the whole promo.
Yeah. I was the dishwasher right.
Yes, there you go.
Right across the street of the taco shop.
Yes,
what?
absolutely.
Seriously, I
And then we
missed
found
this. I never saw this. What?
It was season 1, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
season 1.
Yeah,
He
I remember
wanted
that.
he wanted to introduce real luchadors, and I was one of his introduction, one of the first ones.
I remember that.
You're one of the
I
best
remember.
luchadors I've seen, talent-wise, because your work is fit for TV. Like, you're not like a typical luchador. I don't think of you as a luchador. I think of you as like a hybrid talent that can
Yeah,
do great lucha stuff, but you also know how to make it like an exclamation point as opposed to just like amazing on top of amazing on top of amazing. And it's like, well, I forgot about the previous amazing things, as opposed to you just being so crisp, so clean. Your technique is like second to none. I mean, your technique is so good. Mind you, he's in like a full body suit with boots, can't see, can't breathe. He's doing like flawless springboards, twisting freaking arm drag, like all this crazy stuff that I can't even do regular, much less covered up in a checkered condom. And
you know, speaking of that, Loco, you know, how were you able to see when they gave you the whole Saltadore and the whole thing was just like mask? I mean, you know, to me, man, when I first saw the whole character and I saw the mask what you were wearing, I was like, man, that's kind of like some bondage stuff, bro. You know, because the whole mask you couldn't see, there was nothing.
Yeah, no, like I was saying, like once I took that whole thing off, I'm just sweating underneath, worse than I already am. It was horrible. But I remember the original suit had the eye mesh, but it wasn't. I think it was just a regular grayish mesh inside. And I've worked with like covered eyes before, and the glare of the lights just kick your ass, bro. So I asked if I can either flip it or just color it black so I could see a little better, and it helped. But even then, it's like as soon as the lights, especially those lights, hit the eyes, the mesh doesn't help. But you know, as I went and as I kept using it, I mean, I kind of just got adjusted. And sometimes that's what you got to do, just get adjusted and see what you got, and then just get it going. But trust me, it was hard the first few times. Like I said, the first time around, it was the morph suit. It was those Halloween morph suits.
Yeah.
But then we had to get Quiroz, the main guy we used for like the wrestling gear.
I remember.
Make me a whole new one, which was way better. It felt better in my my body. The neck actually wasn't extended. It was because I don't know.
What's coming in, guys.
Great.
Hey, bro.
Yo.
No worries. We love you, man.
Love you.
All right. Take care. Bye. That was Cholo, guys. He says he sends apologies and stuff, but he's got some health issues that he's working through, man. Prayers to him, brother.
Yeah. We gotta be very, you know, just like really puts things into perspective too. I mean, my teammates, they could pretty much do anything, and I really liked that the team had each guy had like their own identity in a way. And you know, I always saw Saltadore as kind of like a crash test dummy because he kind of looked like it in the face, like the old crash test dummies. And he also was kind of like a bit goofy. And then when they dubbed his voice at one point, it was like an English accent or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they try to make me. I can't do an accent for shit. And
Who
I
came
remember
up with that idea?
was
that creative, Krista Joseph, who came up with that, or Chris Roach?
I don't know which one it was, but he sounded like C-3PO.
That's great.
Playing checkers like on his body and his vignettes and stuff, and it was so fun,
dude. And that's the kind of stuff I'm saying. Like we were able to throw ideas, and they just say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the audience were just yelling at me, checkers, checkers, and I'm like, and I think it was you and I, Paul, where I said like, you know what? Why don't you guys play chess or checkers on
Yeah.
my body? So
Yeah.
there's a vignette where like you guys are playing checkers on my chest, and at first it just checkers, and then as you zoom out, it's just my chest, and I just kind of get up, and that's just,
Yeah. Wow.
It was so funny.
and that's the cool thing about it. I'm like, we were able to pitch ideas, and I don't ever remember them saying no.
Yeah. They didn't.
Who did you guys pitch to in particular?
Joseph. I would always pitch to
Joseph.
Joseph because I was helping with a lot of the I would be at the writers' meetings before the meeting. And then I was pretty much able to talk about whatever we wanted for our stuff, because when it came to one of the times when they were going to have everybody just fighting all over the arena, that's when I thought, why don't we have carrots and we're just sitting on the top of Windows office.
That was so cool.
Paul, I
so
remember
cool.
you specifically telling the art department, I don't want just carrots. I want carrots with long green stems out of it.
We called them the Bugs Bunny carrots.
Yeah.
The Bugs Bunny carrots is what we call
I
them.
think I think they took like at least maybe 2 hours to find.
They're just organic.
They
And
were
it was
long
one of those
carrots. They
things
were
like-
long carrots.
Come on. Just go to Vaughn's or, whatever.
Hey,
They have in their organic section.
I got a question for you guys, because I was in the ring when you guys did this. I didn't know you guys were going to do it, but who came up with the whole like ring around the rosy thing with all three of you guys in doing this kind of like wave
Yeah,
thing?
I don't know. We kind of just thought if we're all in there, because then we would do like a ring around the rosy and then we do a triple punch. And it was like, what's cooler than like a triple punch? That's like the super duper punch, even though it didn't win us any matches. But it was fun. Like, what can we do that involves all of us? See, the thing is, when they said scuba divers, I was like, see, that was my fault, because when they said rabbit tribe, I was thinking, how do I make rabbits badass in a land of snakes and demons and lizards? And so I was actually thinking battle beast, like the old toy battle beasts, because they're like a giraffe with armor, like all the animals, no matter what, it looked badass. So that's when they were like, no, you look like scuba divers. We were thinking more Alice and before he could even say in Alice in Wonderland, I immediately was like, oh, of course. And that's where it really shifted to like the Mad Hatter thing, the psychedelic guy, the bad luck guy, right? And so the ring around the rosy thing was more so Alice in Wonderland inspired, because it seemed like something that would happen in there. Yeah. And like just these idiots playing a trick, and then it's like they're dangerous.
That's what it gave me watching, was fully like Alice in Wonderland with like wrestling elements, obviously.
Yeah, and that's what made it so much fun. Because we could be goofballs, but we could also be pretty formidable. One of my favorite matches was against the Big Lizard, because it was like a tournament match. And at one point I had bumped out and grabbed Cobra Moon, who's like Thunder Rosa now. And I took one of those carrots we had left over. It might have been on a second taping of that weekend, but we had the long tail carrot and it was in my hat. And I took it out and I put it up against her neck like a knife, as if I had her hostage. And but the thing I liked about that match was that they helped me win, because I did a big trust fall dive and he didn't catch me very well, because, well, he is what it is. But then I get back in, and as he's trying to climb back in, they came out from under the apron and were holding his legs.
Big sneak. Yep.
And it was just like,
That's
it's
so
so
cool.
smart. Like, how else are we gonna beat a giant?
Was that the first? Because we see all the character work you do now, and tonight, for anyone who didn't see the show, it was amazing. Was that the first time you really dove into like expanding your character?
Yeah, actually, it was. Yeah. It really was. I tried to wrestle around a little bit on the independents as just kind of this wacky guy with a NASA suit and whatever. I had like I think I even walked out with like a rape whistle at one point. I was like, "Rrr!" They didn't like that in Germany. So I was just trying to heighten elements of my personality, and it would work, but it didn't work nearly as well as this because this was so much more in my wheelhouse. That once we were able to, like, like he was saying, it was very collaborative. And so the thing that was most flattering was as we came back for the following season, I believe it was season 3 or 4. They had they had built this set for us. We're like a 15, if that, second glimpse of us walking in, and they did a forced perspective where it looked like we're walking and going into a little door. And that was another time you had the English accent because you're
That's exactly the
room. We're like in a waiting to see the White Rabbit, right? Like, I don't know, or something like that.
Yeah. And again, I butchered that accent. I can't. Come on, man.
So
the only accent I have is a Cholo accent, fool.
Oh, he did. They recorded it with his voice.
They
but
did?
then, yeah.
But then what? They dubbed in like a different one?
Yeah.
Okay. That's so
They had to. I sounded like an English Cholo.
Yeah. The other thing they dubbed.
Can you do it for us now?
Yeah, right.
I don't even remember the line.
I don't either. Not civilized. I remember this for season 4, they dubbed in bouncing sounds for us too, because we would do a thing where Saltadore and I would hold our opponent, and
Cholo would go off
up on the corner, and he'd be like, "No, farther back." And we're like, "Okay, we're farther back." We get all the way across the ring, and then he would just hop down and like hop and do a drop kick. Well, at one point in season 4, like if you watch it, you hear boing, 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 boing. I'm like, what are these sound effects? It's perfect.
Yeah, and the boing boing, that really plays into what you just said a little while ago, is you guys doing the whole Alice in Wonderland thing, because remember the White Rabbit was late or whatever, and if you go back and you look at the Alice in Wonderland, they have those effects. So I mean, it tied right into it, man. But the thing that I love is you guys really just took that whole thing and ran with it and took it to the next level, man. I mean, you guys really just did that. I mean, I remember seeing the photos of you guys in the room and stuff. And matter of fact, I looked at those a couple of weeks ago. I was going through some photos, and I found the photo of you guys in that room, that 3D room, and I just went, man, this was just so cool, man. So ahead of its time. So
it's great having you there as well, though, because with all your experience, your big show experience, like on the biggest stages there are, you understood and were able to help guys who hadn't hold a moment, hold a beat. That you helped with the timing so well, and so that was very important for us. I'll message you.
I think he just said 5 minutes. I think he just said 5 minutes.
5 minutes. And we will do a part 2 on this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the funnest I ever had wrestling. And that was the time I wasn't embarrassed to show people, be like, no, watch this, please.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. It has such a cult following today, and this is one of the reasons why Jonah and I hooked up, because I wanted to talk about the experiences, and I wanted folks like you guys to share those experiences, man, because there's so many people who can talk about it, but so many people who weren't there, who actually lived it, man. So I wanted to give people a perspective of how fucking cool it was to be a part of Lucha Underground and how special it was. Because for me, I've done a shit ton of pro wrestling like you have, Paul, and I'm sure you, Loco, but that was the best time that I've ever had in my pro wrestling career. That little window from 2014 to 2018, those 4 years, those 4 seasons, that was a time that I would just love to do every day. But again, like all the other wrestling stuff that I did, okay, cool, it was great. But Lucha Underground is very special for me, and I don't mind talking about it. I love when people bring it up and stuff. All the other wrestling stuff, okay. Because it was different from the aspect as far as the creative, as far as management, and as far as what we were allowed to do, and we were allowed to actually go out and have fun, So
that's because Marty goes up all night, sleep all day. which is
You better believe it.
Yeah.
I actually went. I went and saw them last night in Kentucky. So I was at the show.
Mark Slaughter is still there. He's still the front man, right?
Dude, he's one of my best friends, man.
Dude, I love Slaughter. That's one of my favorite bands
Dude,
growing up. Oh my!
One of my best friends of all time, bro.
Oh my god! Gotta fly to the angels.
Oh yeah, they did that last night and lit the place up, man.
Encore, a real crappy one.
Love it.
I want to ask you about one more person we saw you work with and like saw his character evolve too during Lucha Underground. I think it was Evolution more than Rabbit Trap, but Karrion Kross, Killer Kross.
Yeah, he was a real interesting guy because they had him there. I think at the end of season 2, and they were like, "We're gonna bring him in as the toll man." It's like pay the toll, or something. Some stuff. I was like, "The fuck, toll man? What the fuck is that?" And then as we got to the beginning of season 4, he had told me that he was coming in as the White Rabbit, which made sense because it was like, well, if we're going to see the White Rabbit, this mini door, it's obviously not me, and it's not Mascarita because he was like, no, this way, and so it was so cool to have him come in because it made it. He looks like Jean Reno from The Professional, like he just made it serious and dark. So the only drawback to that was that I felt like the reason we miss it so much is because there was so much more untapped, undone, no merch, no toys, nothing.
Yes.
It's such a void that so easily could have been filled, but the higher ups, I think at MGM, just didn't see it, right? But I think that's one of the reasons we miss it so much is because it was so it got to like 20% of what it had the potential to be. Yeah. I think it got to like 20, maybe 30%, you know. And
you know, there was just so much more that we could have done. And again, remember when we did the Tamale Festival?
Yeah,
touring, we did the testing. But the Tamale Festival, remember what you guys did there?
I worked. Was it a 3-way or we worked? Neil Mortes. I think I worked Mortes.
I think Daya was involved somewhere there too.
Yeah.
But you guys got involved out there with the tamales and carrots and everything ringside.
Free tamales. I'm trying to get a stomach ache.
I'll ask before we go down here. Loco, I'll go to you first. A question Martin always asks: do you think we could ever see a Lucha Underground reunion down the road? Bring it back. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, we've done it. We brought Paul, little Cholo. We actually did an angle where I was. It's Cholo run shows now almost every month, and we had an angle where I was supposed to. I needed help. I just didn't know what help I needed to, so I was going on a trip. I took this pill. I don't know what I took, and I wake up, and then Paul is right next to me, giving me really weird advice. And at the end of the day, during the actual show, Mala Suerte, Paul London, and Saltadore come instead of the three of us. It was pretty cool. I was like, we've done it before. It was great. Yeah. And I think so. I mean, I think we even did something actually during Lucha Underground where we went to SoCal Pro down over here in they hired us to be the Rabbit Tribe. So yeah, there's plenty of possibilities.
I know that
I may not be able to springboard anymore
as Tekka something, and they have Luis there kind of doing a very similar Dario Cueto role. So I think MLW.
Yeah, Cesar Duran is what they call him there at MLW.
Right, Cesar Duran. That's right. So if anything was going to reappear, I would think it would be there because they understood the value of it, you know. Yeah. And now we see.
But you know, for me, you know, I talk to Tony Jensen all the time, and I talk to folks.
Tony.
You know, the band is still out there.
Brian, behind the camera, Brian
Metz.
Yes, Brian Metz.
Love Brian Metz. B-Dog, love you. But you know, everybody's still available. Everybody's, I mean, technically, I mean, you got Penta and all those guys who were at WWE, but I mean, as far as like people who are out there, Skip Chase and Tony, Eric, you, I mean, you know, people and pieces are still available out there. So could we do it if somebody with deep pockets went, hey man, let's bring back Lucha Underground? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we need a Mexican Tony Khan.
Something, man.
We need an Antonio Khan
Oh, that's great, man.
with
That's
bottomless
good stuff.
pockets. Come
Absolutely,
on, Tony.
man. Yeah.
Hopefully Tony doesn't buy the property and bastardize it like he's done a Ring of Honor.
I hope not. I hope not. But I do know that Amazon owns it.
Oh, do they?
Amazon.
Yes, they do. Amazon does own it.
But MGM was the umbrella initially.
Yes, but Amazon bought MGM.
Jeez.
So Amazon now owns a piece of it. So does John Fogelman and Factory Made. So does Rodriguez and a couple of other folks. So
because El Rey is still a network. It still exists. Doesn't it? El Rey still exists.
They still post it.
it's a little.
They'll like a comment of me. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Who at El Rey remembers me?
The number one comment on all the videos that I put out, like going underground related or where can I watch? Like people still want it. Any video out there on Lucha Underground, they're like, where's it?
Yeah.
Tubi?
Yeah, I found the you know, there's a few places like Little Chola was supposed to send me a link, which he never did. I got to remind him. But you know, I see it on Daily Motion and I see it on some other places, you know, that have clips, but they don't have the complete shows. So, you know, but people absolutely love it when people, you know, see me or I go to a wrestling show. That's one of the first things they bring up to me, man. It's like, what was it like being a part of Lucha Underground? I mean, you guys can vouch for that. I mean, it was fucking amazing, man, what we did.
Good catering too.
Yeah,
really good.
It was.
That's good.
It was. Paul,
It was-
Paul, thank you for
It was fun. I mean,
yeah, Paul, thank you for those amazing
No, it's
words, bro. I truly appreciate it, man.
on the biggest stage. It's not like you're not like these other referees that we see on Wednesday nights who are mugging for the camera or galloping to the next.
And you know what, man? I absolutely loved the business and I was passionate about it, man. And I think that's what separates me from the folks who are on TV today.
Yes, it does. It does. I mean,
So.
that's what made the show so fun was the passion. And we put stuff into as many people as we could. I remember there was a time when we had Kikitaro show up, we made him a pizza delivery guy. And he
Yes.
the pizza to Kikitaro. Vinny was going to lose the match, but it was such a character building thing for him that it was like, win or lose, like everyone here matters. And that was such a stark contrast from when I was at WWE, because it was just like, these people matter. Oh yeah, we still have you guys under contract, but these guys matter, you know, as opposed to Lucha Underground. I was like, you matter, you matter, you matter. How can we make everybody feel important and valuable?
Yeah, and Paul, you know, you just brought something up, like your experience at WWE. The backstage was so much different from WWE and all the stuff that we had to endure, you know, there. And again, that was one of the things that we didn't want to bring to Lucha Underground, the backstage nonsense that we had to deal with and be a part of, you know. So that's one of the things that I really enjoyed being backstage at Lucha Underground, is that everybody, like you said, everybody mattered and everybody had a purpose there.
Anytime we sent any politics, it got snubbed out and those people were gone.
It sure did, real quick.
Yep.
And we had some
Really
cool
cool.
guests too. Like we had
Danny Trejo.
well, not just
Oh.
that, but wrestling guys. Like it was Io Sky and those girls. They all came as like ninjas or something at one point. And,
Yeah, Black Lotus, man.
yeah, Black Lotus.
Black Lotus.
So,
Yeah.
Sammy Guevara was there. We had Desmond Xavier there, season 4, because it was a loose partnership with TNA at the time.
We had Chelsea Green, who was
Yes,
replaced.
that's who I was.
Great.
Yes,
Yeah.
she was
Her,
like,
her and Penta just knocked it out of the
They were-
fucking
that
park,
match
man.
was-
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, dude. We had Penta, we had Phoenix, man. We had Tejano, we had we had Pimpy. I mean, dude, we just knocked it out of the fucking park, man, with Lucha Underground.
And they committed to the bit too. Like, they really. I think the big difference too is that we had Hollywood people building our sets and building our stunts. And
Yeah.
when we had something rigged, like Matanza going through the office or Willie's head getting curb
That
stomped
cinder block.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
Not
Oh
like,
my God. Speaking of Matanza, I still remember the day he punched through that damn glass and then blood just started squirting, dude.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I thought it was a work. I was like, holy shit. And as soon as you see that going out, I was like, he goes in the
No,
back. And that's the thing about him. He's so freaking calm. Jeff was so calm about it. He's back there just holding his arms like, oh, I guess I cut my arms. Like, bro, you're fucking dying.
You know what's crazy when he hit it and he came back, that shard got him right there, and I'll never forget looking at him because it started squirting like this, and I remember looking, and through his mask his eyes got so big, man, and it was like, well, we're done here. So it stopped, and like that was like the one and only time where we just had to really cut everything and send people home. It was a little awkward, but it was like, wow, it was real. And people were just really just like taken aback by that it was like, shit, man, they shut this thing down. And again, kudos to everybody for being, aware of that. And we did it. But, Lucha Underground just had every aspect of what, pro wrestling and TV should have. I mean, we had great management with Eric, Tony, and those guys in place. We had great fucking creative with Chris DeJoseph, Chris Roach. I mean, we had the best fucking producers and agents with you and Chavo and Vampiro and stuff. And, we had an amazing talent pool, man, where everybody, I mean, if you look at today, the wrestling scope, I mean, a lot of those folks who were at Lucha Underground are now making waves at all these other companies, man. And, I like to say that Lucha Underground got to groom these folks.
Yeah. It's absolutely true. And I love that we had fresh faces. I mean, like, I don't think anyone had seen Melissa Santos yet, but we was our ring announcer, and she became the ring announcer. I mean, and she was perfect for that.
Yeah, man. We created characters, man. We really did, and we gave them all the backstories. We had some great vignettes, like Mil Muertes building that whole thing up. That he was an 8-year-old kid in the Mexican earthquake in 1985, and I mean, just all these things.
Aerostar taking off from the roof of the arena, and like,
yes,
like he was like a solar warrior. We had Honky Tonk Man as a prison warden cameo.
Wait, that I never
saw.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had Honky Tonk Man. He was the one that got Cueto out of jail, I think, right?
Yeah, and remember we had Lorenzo Lamas too.
Which one?
Lorenzo Lamas we had.
Oh, yeah. What?
Yeah. Lorenzo Lamas, man. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. The Renegade.
And like we had some cool people show up. We had Vanilla Ice come to the show. We had AC Green come to the show. Danny Trejo came to the show. Yeah. Robert Trujillo of Metallica came to the show. Eric Singer of Kiss came to the
was
show.
there too. Gabriel Iglesias, he loved it too. His kid was having a good time. He went in the back.
Oh, Frankie,
he was having a good time.
Yeah, but
we even had Dominic do a little thing.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah, with Ray and Johnny, and it was funny because I saw Ray recently, and when we were putting that whole thing together, I remember Dom asking if he could get color, and at this point, Dom wasn't even trained, nothing. He was still Ray's kid, and it was just going to be Johnny pushing him and getting him involved and stuff. But he wanted to get color, and Ray looked at him and goes, "Are you fucking crazy?" But
I think we got to wrap up. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Awesome. What a fun mini episode.
Let's do another one at some
point.
Absolutely. And hopefully we can get Cholo on the next one, man.
Love that.
So yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, I know he's not 100%, but
yeah. But you know what, man? There's still so much that we could talk about and go through, man. We haven't even hit the tip of the iceberg yet with us.
That's true.
You know, there was just so much that occurred there, and again, other stuff that we could talk about. You know, some more cool behind the scenes stuff and some cool stuff and funny stories.
Next time.
Yeah, tune in, brother.
Looking at us like
It's just
out of here.
this is just a teaser.
Yeah.
Pushing it for as much
That's
as we
right.
can here, to the limit for Going Underground.
That's right.
But thank you everyone for watching. Yeah, please stay tuned.
Thank you, Jonah, for building
This
this
is
platform.
awesome.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Loco. Appreciate it, man. Love you guys, man.
Guys, miss you all.
Get the fuck out of here. Looks like he's going for a burns like a hot knife, but look at this. Here we go, Johnny Mundo. Oh, nobody's safe. Watch Mundo. Oh!